Hey, how's it going today? And I am back with another movie review. And yes, I am getting a little bit better. Coughing quite less now in a way. But I hope I don't end up coughing this video. That would have really jinxed it. I think it's around my throat now, somewhere around here. So my voice is a bit croaky. So that's a kind of a good sign. I'm getting a bit better, but there must have been a few coughs here and there though. And so I want to talk about one of the most interesting and best movies I've ever seen. Now, I'm not sure what you lot will think of this movie once you start watching it. I make sure you watch the movie before you watch my reviews on it because there are some spoilers I do give away, and I usually choose to give them away. This depends on the type of movie. And this movie is called, what was it called again? Oh, my mind went blank for a second. Oh, that's right. The movie is called Scare Campaign. Don't know how I just finally forgot about that. And this is probably the only type of movie that's got a lot of twists and turns into it, where it's not what you thought it was, and how it's quite confusing. I think the confusion adds to the excitement to it. I guess that makes you question it more and makes it more enjoyable. It's really hard to explain. It basically starts off with like this, these people that are doing a reality TV show. The start of it, the acting was good too. I kind of knew how it was going to be at first. It's very confusing once I start explaining the entire movie out to you lot. So it starts off with this security guard that comes in, about two of them. This woman shows this guy around, and so this woman leaves him alone, and this guy sort of like gets hears voices, and a delivery comes in, and it's like a person in a body bag. He unzips it because the person this basically person's body bag starts rising up, like it's resurrected or something like that. So he opens it, and then it turns out to be this girl in the bag, and then she opens up her eyes, and this guy runs off to this security room. And then yeah, so just cut to long story short, these people come out there and announce it's like a prank and whatever, just to get you started on how the movie is going to be. Um, so the story progresses. This woman, the main director, the person that's in charge of everything, tells the crew to do something that's kind of like a bit more off script, a bit more dark and sinister. She showed them a video and of these people doing like a fake satanic ritual, a staged one basically. And then when this video is playing, masked murderers come in and start. They call them masked freaks basically. And she wanted something similar to that. God knows why. So the crew was like this crazy and whatnot. And this movie is long. I'm telling you, this movie is long to explain because there's a lot in this movie. So keep your eyes peeled. It's even hard for me to explain what goes on. And they get this actress in. I think her name's Abby. This, she's important. You'll know why. Um, then there's a guy called Marcus who's basically he's kind of like the boss that runs it when they're on set and stuff like that. Um, and then this person called Emma, who's his girlfriend, stuff like that. Well, was his girlfriend, stuff like that. With this whole story, the storyline's good in this film. I'm telling you. So they go into this building, so they pick the actress and all that. They all get so the guy comes in, and what they don't know is that this guy supposedly works here. That Marcus hires. That you'll find out later on. Well, you won't find out because they just hired this person in. And I think it's the person name is Emma. Was it Emma? Yeah, Emma. That's right. Emma is the one playing the person that's working the place. And Abby's playing the ghost. She acts like the ghost in this prank show, or whatever. And then they're in the office and stuff. And this Emma person, this guy doesn't sound right. His name's Trent. He's a bit off. Like he's a bit mental and crazy. If you haven't gathered that already. And then he said he works in the office. She this Marcus calls Emma on the phone, and said there's something not quite right about this guy. We need help immediately. And the guy said we need to go off script. Remember, I was the show get taken down. Blah blah blah. And And then her next cue is to leave the room, and then they prank this guy by, you know, having the door open and stuff, and then he sees like a ball go by, which I forgot. I think her name's Susie or something that acts like the garden or something, or she has a ladder basically. I forgot her name anyway. So he throws the ball, and then the guy doesn't see where it's come from. So he sees and he saws that Abby's holding the ball, you know, that wants to play the ghost. And this guy goes like a cloak type room or something, where there's like jumpers or jackets hanging in that hangers. And there's a cameraman behind there, which he doesn't notice yet. And then as the story goes along here, Abby comes out, you know, appears behind him mysteriously, you know, randomly and stuff like that. And he has this knife that Emma should have really put in another place, but she didn't. She just noticed that it was going in the office after a while. And then he repeats a stab her with it. You know, keeps hacking at her and all that stuff. And it's like, oh God, what's going on here? I mean, this is not what I expected, by the way. I expected this to go a bit like they were actually going to be haunted. But that isn't the case here. In fact, there's a madman here, so, you know, and then this cameraman behind the clothing, what do you call it? The clothes hangers and stuff like that, gets killed as well, whatnot. And then they find that this guy used to work in his mentor, you know, he used to murder a lot of people. So this Emma person is running for her life. She's one of those characters, by the way, so she runs for her life. She goes, I think this guy's called that she's with, you know, that she eventually sees before wherever, like, they go to a car called Dick or something. I think that's the name. The guy who can control him. I can't really remember, so I'm not really good with some of these names. But I remember the other people's names anyway. So as they got there, I'm gonna cut the story long. I'm gonna cut the story short. I don't want to waste too much time with it. There's a scene in the car when they go in like a van or something, not car, van, and this Emma is with this guy. What was his name? Dick or something? I can't remember. And then I think the guy says, "Oh damn, I left my van keys back in the camera room, the surveillance room. That's it." And then this Trent guy appears behind her, and she took a weapon with her and whatnot, and stabbed him in the hand. Go out the van and run off. It turns out this was staged the entire time. So I was like, what? What the hell is going? What? Wow, really? That's not what I expected. But I could see what was going on here. And this guy said, damn, she's down my, what the hell am I going to do? And so that's not where it ends there, by the way. This Marcus dude was, and this, I think Marcus was talking to him saying, oh, I know, dude, okay, I'm sorry for this. And then they had a bit of an argument, they bicker. Then the camera switches off. Basically says no signal. And this is the important detail of the movie which you'll find out. That there was the video that the woman showed to the crew about having to do it more dangerously and risky. It turns out that the mask freaks, well, you'll see where the story goes with this. And there's one scene where there was a person in a mask that comes out and actually kills this guy in the van. So that was like, wow, shoot. So another twist comes into it. This is the only movie where I missed a big detail here. I did not think the masked people were going to come into it. It was classic right there. Then they start killing off these crew members. It was really exciting. The twists and turns made it exciting. To the point where this could be one of the best movies of all time. And it's one of the best Australian movies out there, I think, in my opinion. If any Australians haven't watched this movie, you should watch it. And that goes for all horror fans out there, or whoever fans of movies out there. And then Emma starts one of the Marcus and stuff like that. They run off, and they find out that Abby's been kidnapped. And there's like, oh wow, okay, Abby's kidnapped because there's a footage of that. What was it, Dick or something? Look, there's an extra guy in this. I've forgotten his name. He was in the same room as Abby, and they took her away. And then they threatened. They said meet at this location here to save Abby and whatever. So Emma Marcus proceeds doing that. And they start, because they put in the coffin. So they open the coffin after that. To this time digging out the dirt and whatnot. And then they saved her, and then they told her. And the voice acting in this is incredible when they're wearing their masks and stuff, especially the leader who owns this, who owns the Mask Freaks and stuff, the boss of it all. So I said you can only choose one of them. You can only choose Marcus, you can choose Abby. Now, common sense, she chose Abby. They just say this and they want to put it back into hell again. So it ends there with them in the van. That's not all. It shows Marcus waking up in like a morgue table or something. And they showed like they showed the footage of when before they saved Abby. And when they were before she was about to be a breath like that. And there was one part of the scene in that tape when Marcus is watching, where they show it, where they played it back for him, and there was a voice saying, "You got to breathe a little bit more harder. You got to do this." And Abby looked and be like, "Okay, so would they still come for me then and still save my life?" In my head, I was like, "Oh my god, she was working with them too. She was part of another prank and staging a staging situation, another hoax here." My mind was blown. This is why I love this movie. It's actually one of my favorite movies now because there's so many twists and turns. They do all that. It was quite tense. It got quite tense, you know. I mean, not I don't know many people like it because it's a bit cliche. I thought it would be at first, but it wasn't. I think it's probably one of the best well-made movies of all time with so many twists and turns. Abby was part of it. She left with Emma. And I saw a camera in the van and she was like, "What? Okay." I think she was looking puzzled, confused, or she knew that was already there. But I thought she was going to get killed off too. So Abby played a part in this, the actress, the entire time. She knew them and they were telling her what to do here. I think they forced that upon her, but she looked pretty calm about it. So you would think that they would take their masks off and be like, "Okay, Mark, it's all prank, blah blah." I don't know who the voice was telling her to do this. I mean, I don't know if it was, I don't know if his reaction, based off his reaction, that was his voice and whatnot. I don't know, but it turns out that they got played too by this actress person that they paid, Abby, and then at the end they were gonna put the guy in the furnace. So I gotta say, I thought my rating was gonna drop by 2. I don't think it would. I can't see anything wrong with this movie. The acting was incredible, was so perfect. I know there was scene, I know it was some movie where they got pranked, there was twists and turns. That's the exciting bit about the movie. And this is an Australian movie, an Australian horror, which with their accent, it's perfect for these type of movies. I gotta say, I gotta give this movie a 10 out of 10. When I was watching this, I didn't have to watch half of it. It was a 10 for me. They had that the gore involved, they had the good acting, good voiceover, good twists and turns. Like it had everything. Good what else? Good setting as well. Everything about this movie was perfect. This here is a must watch movie. I am telling you right now. This is as good as Saw. And I know people are going to call me silly for that, but because it is something I never expected, I didn't expect there to be these twists and turns. I thought it was going to be, they practiced something and it turns out that there was actually evil demons in the building. Just typical, but they changed it up here. You know what? Whoever made this movie, you deserve a round of applause for that. That you got me good. Usually I would say that about jump scare movies, but this movie got me good. If you enjoyed this movie review, please give it a like, comment below, share with everyone you know, subscribe and hit the bell notification below. I shall see you in my next video.